In this video, I'm going to be summarising the book 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. If you're looking to learn about starting your own business, this is the perfect book for you. Welcome to the Peak Performance channel, the place where you come to be inspired to create a more prosperous future. In the business world, it's easy to get caught up in the tyranny of the to-do list. You're constantly hustling to check things off, but you're not making any real progress. That's why Peter Thiel's book 0 to 1 is so refreshing. It's a reminder that the key to success is not simply grinding away at tasks, but finding new and innovative ways to create value. In this book summary, we'll go through the book's 7 key takeaways. These include the do's and don'ts of startups, what to focus on when building a startup, and insights on building a billion-dollar startup that stands the test of time. Key takeaway number 1, learn to go from 0 to 1. Doing what we already know how to accomplish moves the world from 1 to n, adding more of what we already know. However, whenever we produce anything new, we move from 0 to 1. The act of creation is unique, as is the moment of creation, and the product is something new and unusual. Peter Thiel spends a lot of the beginning of the first chapter putting into perspective the difference between doing more of what has already been done and doing something that has never been done. It can be difficult to stand out from the competition and do something new, but it's important to try. When you challenge the status quo and think differently, you can create something totally new. This is what innovation really means: creating something new that has never been done before. Key takeaway number 2, don't be scared to ask counterintuitive questions. People often look back and say that traditional beliefs were wrong. But this isn't always the case. Sometimes when a bubble pops, the distortions caused by the bubble don't disappear. This was true for the internet craze of the 1990s. The bubble that happened in the past was really good. It made everything seem better. But it also changed how we think about technology. Today, the first step to clear thinking is to question what we think we know about the past. The bottom line is that the past doesn't equal the future. This means that the mistakes of the past have no bearing on what entrepreneurs should do in the future. For example, Silicon Valley entrepreneurs learned 4 big lessons from the dot-com crash that still guides business thinking today. These lessons are making incremental advances and staying lean and flexible. Key takeaway number 3, avoid competition. When you focus on competing with others, it can cause some nasty things to happen. People can get hurt feelings, friendships and bonds can break, and bad blood can form. This is also true in business. The main idea is that when you're trying to build something, you should focus on creating instead of competing. The main idea is that when you're trying to build something, you should focus on creating instead of competing. If you're trying to build a company, focusing on the competition will only lead to the bankruptcy court. It's better to focus on a small niche market that you can dominate, rather than trying to compete with everyone else in the market. Key takeaway number 4, build a monopoly. Monopoly means new products that are good for everyone and that help sustain the profits of the creator. Competition means no profits for anyone, no meaningful differentiation, and a struggle to survive. There are some common characteristics of successful monopolies. They usually have large cash flows. However, it is important to remember that this is not a checklist, but rather a list of common characteristics to think about when looking at your own business. One of the most important things a company can have is its own technology. This is what makes it difficult for other companies to replicate what you're doing. For example, Google's algorithm has made it the best search engine out there. Many search engines cannot replicate Google's search results. This is because Google has something that the other search engines don't have. In order to stay competitive, you need to have the same thing, or you'll be known for nothing more than a small improvement. When you improve something by 10 times or more, it becomes difficult for others to catch up. This is what PayPal did when they created the first payment system that allowed people to make transactions through email. This was at least a 10 times improvement on other payment transfer methods. Facebook, YouTube, Vine and Twitter are all examples of economies of scale. This means that the businesses behind these platforms have designed them in a way that it makes it easier to grow and expand. For example, Twitter is scalable by design. This means that it can handle more users and activities without any problems. A yoga business might not be as scalable as something like Twitter, but it's not impossible to grow either. It just takes more effort and planning to do so. Finally, branding and positioning are important only if there is something valuable beneath them. So the bottom line is to dominate a specific niche and then scale. Start with a small target market and focus on it. Once you've succeeded, broaden your horizons from there. This is what the most successful companies do. They think about Amazon, for example. Jeff Bezos deliberately started with the intention of making Amazon the world's largest bookstore. Once that happened, he expanded into adjacent markets. Key takeaway number 5. Become a definite optimist. Many people have started businesses that are worth millions of dollars. Only a few people like Steve Jobs, Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk have started several businesses that are worth billions of dollars. If success were mainly a matter of luck, these kinds of serial entrepreneurs wouldn't exist. When someone succeeds, they usually plan for it to happen. If you want to be successful with a startup or some other personal goal, here's what Thiel recommends. Figure out what you want and why you want it. Develop a long-term plan for the future and stick to it as best you can. Now here's a quick reminder before we continue. Make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe and notification button if you haven't already done so, as it means that YouTube sends you more of these kinds of videos and it helps our channel as well. Now, let's get back to the video and key takeaway number 6. Make use of the power of exponential growth. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever doesn't have, even what they have will be taken from them. Matthew 25:29. Albert Einstein is said to have made the same observation about compound interest as the one mentioned in the Bible. He called it the 8th wonder of the world, the greatest mathematical discovery of all time, or even the most powerful force in the universe. The power of exponential growth is very powerful. It remains without a doubt no matter who said it. This power is important to remember as you build your businesses and create powerful forces of technology for the future. Key takeaway number 7. Create a startup powerhouse team. The first team that I built has become known in Silicon Valley as the PayPal Mafia, because so many of my former colleagues have gone on to help each other start and invest in successful tech companies. We sold PayPal to eBay for $1.5 billion in 2002. Since then, Elon Musk has founded SpaceX and co-founded Tesla Motors. Reid Hoffman co-founded LinkedIn. Steve Chen, Chad Hurley and Javed Karim together founded YouTube. Jeremy Stapleman and Russell Simmons founded Yelp Dave. Sachs co-founded Yammer and I co-founded Palantir. All 7 of these companies are worth more than $1 billion each. Peter Thiel. That being said, it's important to create a team that shares the same vision as yours. And that's all. Don't feel like you need to come up with the next big thing. Just focus on doing something better than anyone else. Thank you for being all ears throughout the entire video. To create is effort, to copy is genius, Albert Einstein. And if you want to expand your income by building an online income, feel free to contact me, so we'll get things moving right away. Remember, if you want to change your life, let's make a change together. You need to make a change.